The Design Tourist is in Iceland. Come along with us as we explore the country's stunning scenery and geological wonders. Let's go explore.
In this episode of The Design Tourist, I head to South Iceland, home to the Golden Circle linking some of Iceland's most popular and photogenic attractions. This is cinematic Iceland, the scenes you see in movies and TV shows. Let's go.
A glass of sparkling wine?
I flew direct into the Keflavik airport. It's about 23 miles southwest from the city of Reykjavik. Keflavik serves international flights, not to be confused with the Reykjavik airport, which services domestic flights.
I'm Oak Travel.
Karen.
Hello Karen, hello Tori.
Thank you for meeting me. We're so excited to be here in Iceland.
Welcome.
I met up with Oak Travel, a private, family-owned tour company with deep roots in Iceland. Owner Þórir grew up in Reykjavik, and he's full of insider knowledge and fascinating stories about the country's quirks and culture. He drives us to Reykjavik, where I began my adventure. Reykjavik is a popular gateway to Iceland for many travelers. It's the world's most northerly capital, home to more than 1/3 of Iceland's population. It's the ideal base for exploring the nearby Golden Circle attractions, with many day tours originating from the city. After arriving at 8 a.m. on an overnight flight, I'm a little jet-lagged but energized by my curiosity to check out Reykjavik's culture and cuisine. So I unpack and I wait for the sunrise, which won't happen until 10 a.m.
Good morning. So today I'm going to explore the city of Reykjavik. Now I'm traveling at the end of November, so we're averaging here about 5 to 6 hours of sunlight. So I really have to be strategic about what I'm going to see and do in the city. So let's go.
Iceland is a country of extremes, where sunlight and darkness don't follow the typical 24-hour schedule. This natural phenomenon happens near the Earth's two poles. For about 12 weeks during the summer months, the sun shines nearly 24 hours. In the winter, the sun shines only 3 to 5 hours. It can really mess with your circadian rhythms, but that's part of the travel experience, venturing outside your norm. Reykjavik sits on the southwestern coast of the North Atlantic Ocean. Just a short walk, about 10 minutes from my downtown hotel, I arrive at the shoreline as the view opens up, revealing its rugged, volcanic rock-lined shores.
On this trip, we're going to explore some of its lesser-known quirks and claims to fame. I'm going to show you a really cool piece of public art that's right here along the water.
The Sun Voyager sculpture commemorates the bicentenary of the city's constitution. The steel sculpture resembles a Viking ship, honoring Iceland's history and seafaring traditions. It's also a popular selfie spot. Reykjavik is a UNESCO City of Literature, the first non-English-speaking city to receive that honor. Iceland's culture is deeply rooted in storytelling. Ancient sagas dating back to its Viking heritage, Norse mythology, and belief in trolls present in modern life. You heard it right. Some Icelanders believe that trolls are real. Over the years, road and construction projects have been diverted to protect suspected troll habitat. It's a fascinating cultural quirk I encounter throughout my travels.
This is the main shopping street, Laugavegur, and part of it is pedestrian only. So let's go stroll and shop. I'm shopping for a traditional Icelandic sweater made of real Icelandic wool, and so I took a turn onto Rainbow Road to continue my shopping search, and I'm not really sure why it's called Rainbow Road. I'll have to ask a local.
I later learned that Rainbow Street is a symbol of diversity and the scene of the annual Reykjavik Pride Festival. A few blocks away, I found the Iceland Hand Knitters Association store, the official place to find authentic traditional hand-knit Icelandic sweaters.
This is the Hand Knitting Association. It's almost 50 years old. We have around 500 knitters knitting for the shop, and the knitters, they own the shop. They are like me. I'm both working here and I'm knitting, so I'm one of the 500 owners. People get paid for each and every one that they turned in. They still get paid in the beginning.
How important is knitting to the Icelandic culture?
It's part of the culture. It is. You know, Icelandic sheep wool and Icelandic sheep, they kept Icelanders alive. You know, from the beginning we have been using the Icelandic sheep wool. We have been using the skin, the meat and everything, so we have been saved by the Icelandic sheep.
And is this something that you learned from your mother and grandmother?
Every child is taught today. Every child is taught how to knit in school. It's very important.
So every child, no matter male or female, learns to knit.
Yes. Every child.
So what are these sweaters called?
Like this one here, or these here, they are more traditional ones. These are the ones that got the Icelandic, you can use Icelandic Lopapeysa, Icelandic wool pullover, because it's Icelandic wool, Icelandic designer. It's knitted here in Iceland, so it has the pattern here, it has the pattern down here, so that will be traditional Icelandic pullover.
And how do we say this?
Íslensk Lopapeysa.
Lopapeysa?
Yeah.
Lopapeysa.
Lopi means the wool and peysa means pullover.
And how long does it take to hand knit a sweater like this?
This one, it's like 55 to 60 hours.
Okay.
Thinner one. The thicker one maybe 25 to 30.
Wow.
The Lopapeysa gets its name from the yarn used called the lopi. It's made from Icelandic sheep and contains both wool and wind hairs, making it soft and very warm. The wide yoke pattern is a signature design element of the sweater.
So I know what I'm looking for now, my mark of authenticity here in the tag, and then on the back is the year the sweater was hand knit, the number which is attached to the name of the person who knit this sweater, and if I choose to buy this sweater, we can look up the number and her name or his name will be revealed to me. Okay. Winner, winner, I think I found one.
I stock up, purchasing 3 sweaters, a hat, and a dress. It's cold in November, and these sweaters have been keeping Icelanders warm in extreme cold for centuries. These sweaters are also heirloom treasures for Icelanders, who hand them down from generation to generation because they are so well made. Next, I'm headed to Hallgrímskirkja, the biggest church in Iceland and one of the best examples of Icelandic architecture. The iconic Lutheran church, towering over the city of Reykjavik, draws inspiration from Iceland's landscape. A statue of a Viking stands in front of the church, a gift from the United States in 1930 to Iceland, honoring the country's 1000th anniversary of its parliament.
So this is where you come for a bird's eye view of the city. I'm here at the church tower. I highly recommend getting a ticket because the view is phenomenal.
After a full day of exploring Reykjavik, I was getting hungry, but it was too early for dinner, so I stopped at the city's famous hot dog stand, where Icelanders line up day and night for these beloved hot dogs. It's Iceland's oldest hot dog stand, operating continuously on this same spot since 1937.
So the name is Bæjarins Beztu pulsur.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, tell me what is so popular about these hot dogs. Why do people love them?
So this is like not the normal kind of hot dog. This hot dog actually has 3 kinds of meat, like 80% lamb and 10% pork and 10% beef. So it's all mixed together. It became famous in 2004 when Bill Clinton came here and had a hot dog with just mustard. Now we just call the hot dog Clinton.
A lot of celebrities have been here.
Yeah, actually the Kardashians have came here and we actually have a hot dog named after them with just ketchup.
The popular way to order a hot dog is by asking for the one with everything. It comes with mustard, Icelandic sauce, fried onions, raw onions, and that special ketchup made of apples.
Hi, how are you? I will have a Clinton hot dog and a hot dog with the works. Bill Clinton was onto something.
Up next, we head to Iceland's insta-famous waterfalls and black sand beaches. The next morning, my Oak Travel private driver, Siggy, picks me up from the hotel and we head south on the Ring Road, also known as Route 1. We're traveling along the Golden Circle, a 155-mile circular drive that begins at Reykjavik and goes along some of the world's most popular waterfalls and attractions. As we drive in the morning darkness, the sun rises, bathing the surrounding mountains in a kaleidoscope of luminous colors. Iceland is known as a land of fire and ice, formed by millions of years of volcanic activity. The Earth's molten core bubbles up to the surface, and it built mountains, vast lava fields, and glaciers. Today, these volcanoes have created an envious natural resource, geothermal energy, and it powers much of the country. It's the scene of cinematic films and television sagas, and it's a huge tourist draw, averaging more than 2.5 million tourists worldwide annually, far outnumbering the country's approximately 400,000 residents. Most travelers come to explore the Golden Circle. Now, I'm traveling during volcanic activity on the Reykjanes Peninsula. The nearby town of Grindavik had been evacuated, but the active volcano hasn't stopped the tourists who crowd the Golden Circle's main attractions. Along the way to the black sand beaches, We stop at a cafe that was once a farmhouse near another volcanic eruption in 2010. Eyjafjallajökull. It's on the south coast of Iceland. It drew attention to Iceland when it woke from nearly 200 years of sleep with 2 connected eruptions in 2010.
Okay, Karen, now we are going to show you this. We are in front of the Eyjafjallajökull, some eruption 10,010. Here you can see how it was the first day. I tried to translate it for you. If you look, Eyja is island, Fjalla is a mountain, Jökull is a glacier. Island, mountain, glacier.
Very literal. It's beautiful.
The Eyjafjallajökull eruption stranded millions of tourists worldwide, and it grounded more than 100,000 flights over 7 days. Iceland has more than 30 active volcanoes, so eruptions and earthquakes are part of daily life. Iceland Tourism says that on average, a volcano erupts in the country every 5 years. Since 2021, that frequency has been closer to every 12 months. If you're planning a trip to Iceland, I suggest checking for volcano alerts on the official catalog of Icelandic volcanoes to see if any of the country's 32 active volcanic systems has a color code red. That's a volcano that's considered active. Driving east, we arrive at the magnificent Skógafoss waterfall.
I wanted to show you one of Iceland's most beautiful waterfalls. It's also emblematic of a natural resource this country has, which is clean, pure, tasty, drinkable water. And you can drink it from the faucet. You could literally scoop up a handful and drink it from the river right here. As a tourist, it's been so great not to have to worry about buying bottled water.
Interesting factoid. Skógafoss is the 3rd most Instagrammable waterfall in the world. It's one of the largest waterfalls in Iceland, tumbling 197 feet from the cliffs of Skógar into a river that flows through a gorge.
So I'm taking back a lava rock for good luck and a souvenir.
Head out where you wanna go. My heart is burning for your soul. Head darling, where you wanna go? Now my heart is burning for your soul. From stars that up in the sky, to ocean beds not seen by the eye. Our legs will walk us to a place where we don't care for what people say.
Nearby is Seljalandsfoss, with a large cavern that sits behind the falls, allowing guests to walk both in front and behind the waterfall.
Behind the waterfall where you can really hear the roar of the water and feel the mist kicking up around it.
Next, I head to the Reynisfjara black sand beach. I want to experience the silky black sand coastline and rocky sea from several vantage points. My first stop brings me up close with a sea cave that sits on the shores with an opening in the towering basalt columns. A word of caution, the ocean is fierce along this stretch of coastline with so-called sneaker waves. They're dangerous, very dangerous. They can suck you into the ocean in no time. Several people have died on these shores, taken into the sea.
Here you see the light is blinking, that's give you a warning.
Okay, so this is the warning system. So what does yellow mean?
It's just the middle. It's not dangerous, but it's not good either. You see, don't walk out to the yellow place.
So we got to watch out for red. Do not go beyond this point.
The red light warns of waves as high as 20 feet, with powerful high tides, bringing waves far up the beach. If you visit the area, be careful. Read the warning signs and never turn your back to the waves. The Black Sand Beach is also a popular photo spot for bridal couples with its backdrop of jagged basalt cliffs and foaming waves.
So this is a first for me, living in Florida with white sandy beaches. This is black sand from all the volcanic activity, and it is so beautiful. So I have a little Iceland lore to share with you. Behind me are two of the three rocks. It's a trio of rocks. And the story goes, two trolls went out to fish at the sea. The tide turned, the sun went down. It was time to go home, and they didn't make it in time, so they turned into rocks along with their boat.
Ziggy takes us to a lookout above the town of Vik for a bird's eye view of the Black Sand Beach and stunning views of the Dyrhuley rock arch and cliffs. Reynisfjara is widely considered the most beautiful black sand beach in Iceland. From May to August, it's also one of the best places to see puffins from land. Nearby, a lighthouse stands watch, built in 1938, with the distinction of being the tallest building in South Iceland for many years.
Let me point out some spectacular features. So behind me is the Elephant Rock. Over here is the doorway to the island. And then off in the distance are those three rocks that are tied to the legendary tale of the trolls who went fishing and were turned to stone.
We are now this named Dyrhuley. Here is the lighthouse. So it's very important for the ships. If you look here, you can see the black sand beach so far as you can see.
Wow.
We also have, you don't see it, but we have one of the active volcano here on the right hand. There's a Katla. Mm-hmm. And a little bit further is Eyjafjallajökull, some is also volcano.
So living with volcanoes is a way of life in Iceland.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Along our drive, we encounter horse farms dotting the landscape. The Golden Circle is home to some of the largest horse breeding farms, some with stables offering horse rides. Ziggy tells me about a waterfall that isn't a mainstream tourist attraction. We park at its private gated entrance and walk to this waterfall hidden inside of a canyon. To reach the inside chamber, you walk through a thin crack in the outside cliff wall.
This one, so we are taking you now, is the name is Gljúfrabúi. The Gljúfur is the name of the canyon, so we are going between there. And the waterfall have the name. And if you are taking for private tours, we can take you, but if you are taking a big bus, sometimes they don't have a time to stop and take you to some special places. So I recommend the private tours.
Yeah, Ziggy, we've really been able to have great access and insider knowledge. You know so much about the geology, the history, the culture. You're full of stories, which makes traveling with a private tour guide all the better experience to get the most out of Iceland. So we're inside the cave, right at the waterfall. You can hear the roar of the water and feel the mist.
Meet me down by the water. Escape the crowd so we can be alone.
Bathing in geothermal springs is a popular pastime in Iceland. The country has countless natural hot springs bubbling up from the earth, heated by volcanic activity. In South Iceland, the Blue Lagoon and Sky Lagoon are popular geothermal springs drawing tourist crowds. If you don't have time to visit a natural spring, your hotel may have a human-made hot bath. Before I say goodbye to South Iceland, I visit Thingvellir National Park, home of the world's first parliament, the Althing. It was founded in 930 AD. Also here, the Great Atlantic Rift. It's clearly visible and has been slowly pulling Iceland apart along tectonic plates for thousands of years. I finish up my travels throughout Iceland by swimming between two continents, two tectonic plates here at this national park, the Eurasia Plate and the North America Plate. So I'm going snorkeling. Snorkeling the Silfra takes some effort. You suit up in these heavily insulated wetsuits, putting on 2 layers that cover every inch of your body except for your face. I change in one of the diving equipment vans, and our guide helps me suit up. As I float in the glassy Arctic waters, I see underwater canyons below, the schism between the two tectonic plates, and I feel like I'm flying. I just finished snorkeling between the two tectonic plates here at the national park. They call this the Silfra fissure. On one side of me was the Eurasian tectonic plate and the other side was the North American plate. Now, to the right of me is the North American continent. You can see above ground. And I want to point out another historic site. Over here behind me is the world's oldest parliament. This is where it originated. Iceland was a commonwealth, and this is where all the chieftains gathered to pass laws.
And so I say goodbye to Iceland, the land of stunning beauty, natural resources, quirky culture, and warm hospitality. Until the Design Tourist travels again, stay curious and stay inspired.
Meet me down by the water. Escape the crowd so we can be alone.